Good evening, everyone. How are we all doing? We're back with another stream today. Of course, we are here for the match preview tomorrow, Leicester versus Brighton in the Premier League. As always, we've got a lot to go through tonight, a lot of transfer news, and as always, we're going to look ahead to tomorrow's game against Brighton in the Premier League, which is going to be a tough one. But yeah, we'll break the game down today. We'll look at how Leicester are setting up for the games and potentially some players coming back from injury back into the starting lineup. We'll take a look at Brighton. We'll go through score predictions, predicted lineups, all that type of stuff, and then we'll discuss some interesting transfer news. Obviously, Victor Kristiansen is set to become a Leicester player. That could be announced tonight. It could be announced tomorrow. It is going to be announced very soon, I do believe. So that deal is pretty much over. Ozzy Perez is heavily linked to Real Betis, so we'll discuss a bit about that. Leicester put a bid in for Stoke centre-back Harry Souttar as well, so we'll talk a bit about that one as well. And sort of a little transfer rumours going around. It looks like Leicester will be busy in the next 11 days, which is 11 days left of this transfer window. So as always, get involved in the chat, let us know your thoughts, drop a like on the stream, all that good stuff. And yeah, as always, we're going to kick it off discussing this Brighton game at home tomorrow, which is going to be difficult. How's to Sam, who is the first man in the chat tonight? Hopefully you are doing all right. But yeah, Brighton at home today. We're not going to beat around the bush. Let's get the press conference news from yesterday's press conference at Seagrove. So we've got Owen Palmer-Atkin up here, who of course attended the press conference for BBC Radio Leicester. So Brendan Rodgers says he spoke to Kuntop yesterday and says he's determined to continue making Leicester City as good as it can be. Obviously, this is not as much based on the Brighton game, but it's still quite relevant in my opinion. So we'll use this bit here so we don't go off the screen. But yeah, Brendan Rodgers says he hopes there'll be more signings after Kristiansen between now and the end of the window. So of course that is positive news. Transfer news, Brendan Rodgers says that he'll comment on players once they have signed after news that Kristiansen, etc. will be having his medical. But this is the key here. James Maddison and Kieran Dewsbury-Hall are both set to be in the squad for the home game with Brighton on Saturday. Brendan Rodgers told me that Maddison isn't fit to start though. So we'll speak about that one a bit later. And that's about it injury news-wise. The other stuff was just about the club's ambitions and that type of stuff when the season we've had so far. But yeah, main thing is Maddison and Dewsbury-Hall set to be back in the squad tomorrow. Sammy Braybrook started for the under-21s tonight, which I think obviously means there's going to be a space on the bench for them to come back in. So we could see Dewsbury-Hall start. I don't think Maddison will start, but we could definitely see them both involved, which is a massive plus because if we get onto the predicted lineup, without them two, as we've seen in recent weeks, our midfield, well, the whole team's pretty weak, isn't it? But the midfield seems to be quite weak without them two, as well as Samare as well. But I think having Maddison and Dewsbury-Hall back in contention is the key. We don't want to rush them back though. I think that's the main thing. If Maddison's not fit to start, don't play him for any more than 20 minutes max. So I'd rather Maddison not play than get another injury and be out for another month. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a tough game. We'll talk a bit about Brighton in a minute, but there is a bit of positive news coming into the game. You know, if Maddison and Dewsbury can hit the ground running quickly and have an impact on the game, maybe we could get something. But we'll talk about the predictions later. But I've got to be honest, I'm not too confident. I'm really not, because Brighton are a fantastic team and they've been doing very well recently. They come into the game off the back of that 3-0 win against Liverpool as well. So they'll be full of confidence. So, yeah, talking of Brighton, we're going to quickly go and discuss a bit about the Seagulls. Tonight we're getting through things quite quickly. But yeah, let me just quickly share the screen then onto Brighton. And this is how they set up in their previous game against Liverpool. So hopefully you guys can see that. So as we can see, they are going with the 4-2-3-1 kind of formation, 4-3-3. Sanchez in goal. Here it says Pascal Gross to the right back, which I didn't even realise. Lewis Dunk and Levi Colwill at the back. Colwill is out for the game, I do believe, if you cast your minds back to the summer. Obviously, Leicester were interested in the Chelsea centre-back. Estepinian at left-back. I think I'm reading this the right way. McAllister and Caicedo, that is very strong. Got Solly March, who's on excellent form. Adam Lallana, Matoma, who's the big danger man, and he also got Ethan Ferguson, the youngster, up top as well. So bench-wise, it's strong as well. You got the likes of Lamptey, Webster, Welbeck, who obviously got Gilmore, Joel Veltman as well. So you know, Brighton are playing some great football this year, and you know, from that game against Liverpool, let's not show that. They obviously smashed them, and it's not like they just got 3 goals on the break. They dominated the game. So Leicester are going to have to be on it tomorrow. And you know, it's going to be difficult to match that team because if you look at the likes of Matoma, who some people are saying he's got PhD in dribbling and he's coming up against Castagna. So that may be a long afternoon for Tim tomorrow up against Matoma. Then obviously got the World Cup winner of Alexis McAllister in midfield. You got Caicedo, who tore us apart in the game earlier on this season, where obviously we lost 5-2. You even got Danny Welbeck, who always seems to score against Leicester, and he's been doing good as well. And you got Solly March as well, who it seems to be around for ages and still manages to keep scoring these fantastic goals. So it's going to be a tough game. I think we can get a bit of luck going forward, but defensively, it's going to be a long day for Leicester tomorrow. If we're going to get anything from this game, we need to be on it, because Matoma, just like Ethan has said in the chat, it's going to be difficult. Yeah, talking of the chat then, let's get in. Sam is in here as well. The beef in the chat hasn't started all right just yet. Hello, Hayden, mate. Hope you're doing all right. Billy Boys is in here as well. Hope you're doing well. Matoma will destroy us anyway. Can't stick around for too long. Enjoy the game, you two, even, mate, if you are going tomorrow. McAllister will ruin our midfield. That's true, but if Dewsbury Hall starts and can play as well as we know he can, he could restrict that a little bit, but we could get overrun with the likes of Caicedo in there as well. But talking of lineups, we'll talk a bit about the Leicester lineup in a minute. So let's go and share the screen. I've done a little lineup already, which tonight we're actually prepared. All right, so let me know your thoughts on this in the chat. It's a bit rogue. I can't lie. It probably won't happen, but I just want to see something different, because the way we're playing right now, it's not really working. So hopefully you can see that on the screen right now. I'll just scroll down a bit for you guys. So ignore the formation. It's obviously a bit all over the place. But we've got Ward in goal. We've got Castagna, Faz and Martin Thomas, which is about 4. Obviously, Kristiansen hasn't officially signed yet, so he won't be able to play. I don't really think we can't really play anyone else there. Midfielder-wise here, I've obviously got Ndidi/Mendy. I'm split between them two. Dewsbury Hall, if he's fit to start, I'll play, but Dennis Pratt looks to be back in contention as well. You got Madison Perry potentially on the right. You got potential Albright in there as well. This is very potential, but I don't know, boy. I want to see what you guys are thinking. I'm going to play 2 up front with Collection Daka up top. I think obviously Ian actually playing a bit more deeper, but obviously going forward he'll be more alongside Daka like that with a kind of 4-4-2. And you got Barnes on the left, who he's been on awful form, but we don't have anyone else to play there. So I don't know. How else can we play? Because you could say we play with no wingers, but then midfielder-wise, we might be quite stretched as well, depending on the fitness of Dewsbury Hall, Madison, etc. as well. So I don't know. Let us know your thoughts on that, boys, in the chat. Do you like the formation? Do you want to see 2 up top? That type of thing. I just want to see something a bit different tomorrow. We need to approach the game differently, because we keep playing the 4-3-3 and it ain't working. It's really not working. And if you can't keep playing the same formation week in, week out, because it's simply just not going to work. I want to see something different. Brendan Rodgers will not do anything different. That's very true, to be fair with you. But I don't know. This is the SPORTSA predicted lineup. So around here, we do stuff different. I want to see what you guys are saying in the chat. Big Sam Nez is talking. But there's some more of you guys in here. Come on. I want to see what you guys are saying. Formation is solid. I think it's all right. But yeah, just like I said, I don't think it will happen. But Kel and Daka, good when they work together. It's true they did actually, both of them scored, didn't they, in the reverse game at the Amex. So hopefully we can have a repeat of that, but trying to actually defend. But yeah, it's going to be really tough. It is going to be a really, really tough game tomorrow. And like I said, if Leicester are going to get anything from this, we can't afford to make any stupid errors defensively. And going forward, we need to be slick with it as well, because De Zerbi's team like to actually have the pressure on them, and then going forward, they are very quick at turning things around, kind of a bit of counter-attack type of style. But even if they win the ball on the halfway line, they're very quick to make a few passes, and then they're in behind with the likes of Matoma. Obviously, Trossard used to play for them. He's now at Arsenal, but despite that, they've still got a lot of threat out wide. Like I mentioned earlier on, they've got Solly March as well. So it will be a tough game. You never know. Leicester could get something. It is one of the games where, before this season, you would have backed us to get a result against Brighton, wouldn't you? Every single time. But obviously this year they've improved drastically under De Zerbi and Potter as well. So it's going to be difficult. But I don't know why I'm not confident, but I have a slight feeling we will get something. I don't know why. I really don't know why. But I would take a draw 100%. But has Victor been announced yet? I don't believe so. It is currently, I don't think they'll announce him at 9 o'clock at night, will they? So maybe Kristiansen walks out tomorrow. You never know. It could happen, because or maybe Kristiansen gets announced tomorrow morning just to make the fans happy, or we get back to 3-0 and then Kristiansen gets announced at 5 p.m. That would be typical Leicester. So like 1-0 Brighton, I wouldn't, to be fair, I wouldn't be happy with that, but it's not that bad, is it? Happy birthday, Riley, mate. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day before Leicester go and ruin it tomorrow. Leicester could win, but it's very unlikely. You never know. The game is at home tomorrow, so to be fair, at home though we've been awful this year, so I don't really know. I will be at the game tomorrow, so there will be a fantastic match day vlog of all the Brighton goals. But I'll also be at Walsall next weekend as well, so that would be decent as well. Cheeky away in the FA Cup. Brighton, best form playing away 2-1 Seagulls. That's very fair. Parent club has announced it. Has it? All right. Let's have a quick look on Twitter. I know Copenhagen posted something the other day, but let's have a quick look. Sometimes stuff happens on the stream, so we might see it. But yeah, I can't really see much. But yeah, pretty much. We'll talk about transfers a bit later. But yeah, it's happening, boys. It's happening. So yeah, Kristiansen to Leicester. Pretty much here we go. I think paperwork signed, all that type of stuff. I think we're just waiting to officially announce it. So that is a good positive. But yeah, we'll talk about transfers in about 2 or 3 minutes. We'll just get your guys' score predictions. And then we'll talk a bit about the latest transfers. We've got some good stuff to talk about tonight. We'll stream tomorrow night, potentially. Obviously, the vlog will go up probably about 8 online. Then obviously, I usually go live at 8:30. So yeah, potentially tomorrow night I'll go live at 8:30. But we'll see. I might be. If not, it'll be on Sunday. Is it 11 mil? I swear it was more than that. I don't know. Check out the FC website. I don't think anything will get confirmed tonight. I don't think so, but you never know. You never know. But yeah, just before we go and discuss some transfers, score predictions in the chat, boys and girls. What are we thinking for the game? I'm expecting a lot of Brighton wins, to be fair, just like Forest, because obviously this time last week everyone thought we were going to lose to Forest, and that was the case. So yeah, let us know your thoughts in the chat. Score predictions. For me, I'm actually going to be kind of positive. I'm going to go 1-1. It's pretty deluded, I can't lie. But I don't know. I just got a feeling we might be able to snatch something tomorrow. So I think 1-1 would be a fantastic result, to be fair. Obviously, won't shoot us up the table, but a point is a big point for us. So yeah. If we get back to the upload at like midnight, no, the midnight uploads are only for the night games. But to be fair, when's the last time Leicester actually had a 3 o'clock game at home? I know we've had a few away, didn't we, like West Ham and stuff, but yeah, we never seem to have 3 o'clock games at home. So hopefully I can upload the vlog at a reasonable time this game. But yeah, it should be interesting. I don't think it's going to be dull, to say the least. I think there's going to be goals in the game. Obviously, Leicester can't defend. And Brighton are a little bit shaky defensively, but obviously they're still solid. But I think, Brighton's attack is slightly better than Brighton's defence. So, that could be an interesting one. All I say, I don't think it will be 0-0 tomorrow. I can't see it, but you never know. I would take that, to be fair. If Victor Leicester would he be in the squad? I don't think so. I believe he had to get signed on at 12 p.m. today, so I think we're past the deadline. But I don't really think starting a player or playing a player who's had like a day of training. I don't really know. You know what I mean? I think a perfect introduction would be a nice trip to Walsall away, won't it, next weekend? But yeah, Kristiansen will not be in the squad tomorrow. Obviously, he hasn't officially signed yet, but if you guys just join us, Kristiansen is pretty much all but confirmed. I'm sure you've all seen the news anyway from Fabrizio Romano, some very reliable sources as well. So the deal is pretty much all but done. So that should be getting announced pretty quickly. 2-1 or 4-1 battering. Fair enough. I think Brighton will win by 1 goal, even if we score. I'm going to say 1-0 to Brighton. Not bad. See, if we were talking about this like 2 years ago, not bad losing 1-0 to Brighton. It's crazy how things have changed, isn't it? But if anyone scores, Barnes, nah, mate, no chance. I'm saying it. Yeah, you never know. I hope he plays tomorrow. I would like to, but I don't think he will. But yeah, just like I said, 1-1. I'm going to go for. I'm going to go with Matoma to score for Brighton, and Leicester to grab a goal from Tillman Screamer. I reckon that's the only way we're going to score a banger. So 3-1 to Brighton. Fair play. It's realistic. Definitely don't think we'll win. There we go. You know what? I'm going to be positive tonight, guys. I'm going to be a bit positive. But yeah, we've gone through the depressing preview for the depressing game tomorrow. Let's maybe get on a bit better subject, transfer news then. So, as we already discussed, Victor Kristiansen, all but done, going to be announced within the next couple of days. He is a Leicester player unless something dramatic happens, but I'm pretty certain that he will be announced. Some interesting news today. Jose Perez looks to potentially be going to Real Betis this January. So we'll see how that one goes. But there's strong links. Obviously, Perez is Spanish, so he may want to, go and play out in La Liga with Real Betis, which I believe they're doing a fairly decent side in it. So I think that one could potentially happen. But an interesting bit is that Leicester have submitted a £10 million bid, I do believe, for Stoke City centre-back and Australian international Harry Souttar. Now, this guy performed very well in the World Cup. He's quite a big centre-back, but as we know, Leicester could really do with a centre-back this January. So it looks like Leicester are going in for pretty much Stoke's best player. So we'll see how that one goes. But Leicester have got options. The Nico Gonzalez deal was completely off now. Obviously, Fiorentina do not want to sell. There has been a bit of talk about Tete potentially from, I think it's Olympic Lyon, I do believe, but don't hold me on that one. But Leicester are interested in a few wingers. There was, I think, a Roma player we're interested in as well. So there's a few rumours going around, but nothing from that many reliable sources. But I will try and get up on Twitter right now because I know John Percy did say something, which he is obviously quite reliable. So let me just try and get that up for you guys. I should have done this before. Shouldn't I? Was it John Percy? Don't know who it was now. Don't know who it was. Let me try and find it. So it is a bit. It's some interesting transfer news coming out today. Oh, mate, I can't work Twitter on the flipping on the computer. It's a nightmare. I used to do it on the phone. But yeah, while I'm trying to find this, keep spamming your score predictions in before we can talk about transfers. Here it is. Oh, Rob Dorset, that's the one. Big Robert Dorset. Let's get him on the screen. Here we go. Tweets like by Josh Smith. Here we go. Right. Hopefully you can see that. So there we go. OCFC looking at alternative forward options after talks with Florentino over Nico Gonzalez broke down. Leicester were prepared to pay 20 to 25 mil for the Argentinian international, but the Serie A said he's not for sale, as we know. Here's a bit then on the Harry Souttar deal. OCFC have spoken to Stoke City for the deal for centre-back Harry Souttar. Rodgers is prioritising defensive reinforcements, but two clubs not close on the fee, and Souttar has plenty of suitors. Interesting words. Victor Kristiansen finalising legal details over his contract, won't sign in time to play Brighton. So there we go. Robert Dorset, obviously Sky Sports reporter. Let's quickly see. I believe he said a few other stuff as well. If I can find it. No, he hasn't. So let's get off that. So yeah, that's all Rob has said about transfers. Just like I said, there's a few reports about Perez to Betis, and as we know, Söyüncü to Atletico is another one. I believe if Söyüncü does go, we will be desperate to bring in a centre back. So need Vardy to find form. I don't think that's going to happen, to be fair. I think he's done. Least favourite player from Leicester. It's a bit. It's a tough one. Least favourite player. Jose Perez winds me up a lot, I can't lie. He does. In fact, if it was the least favourite player over these last 3 weeks, I would honestly say Harvey Barnes because he's been doing my nothing. So yeah, overall, I'd probably say Perez. I know a few people would say that. Like Bertrand. What's the on about Bertrand? Yeah, I forgot he was even a Leicester player. But yeah, I would go 2-1 or 2-2. I'll take that 100%. With Söyüncü, don't we all? Prime Söyüncü, Madison, KDH, and Ricardo. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention Ricardo. Yeah, Ricardo's back in training. Obviously, I don't think he'll be anywhere near the starting lineup for the next couple of weeks, but it's good to see Ricardo back. Hopefully, he can just stay fit for 2 years. Because I think last year he slowly got back to not to levels he showed in 2019, but he was slowly getting there. Obviously, scored the win against PSV. He got some consistent game time, was looking quite good, but then obviously in pre-season, I think in the Sevilla game, obviously picked up another injury. So fingers crossed, Ricardo can just stay fit for like the rest of the season at least. So as we know, Ricky P is an excellent player. We could really do with some cover because obviously we are signing Kristiansen, but he's only a left back if Cassandra gets injured with stuff. So obviously we need that depth. Justin will be out, of course, for the remainder of this year, I believe, as well. So yeah, we need some reinforcements, as we know. Perez, my least favourite, fair enough. Ricardo is to move on, but yeah, but who's going to take him, because he just gets injured so many times, and that's the thing with Leicester. I think Brendan mentioned it in his press conference. Quite a few of our players, I believe personally, think they're better than what they actually are, and believe that they were getting big moves. Obviously, a few years ago, I think that was right. Obviously, Diddy was linked with everyone. Suncha was linked with things like Barcelona. Castagna was getting linked as well. Tillemans was getting linked to big teams around Europe, left, right, and centre, like Barcelona, I think, as well at times. So, and now obviously that they can't get the moves. So I understand where Brendan is coming from. It's a bit, violent era, but yeah, fair enough. Used to be amazing, but sick of it. Yeah, it's exactly that. But it comes down to Leicester as well. Last year we gave contracts to Ricardo and Justin, who are both very injury prone. I always say this: if any players had a serious injury like an ACL, it's very, very rare that they will be injury free for the rest of the year. Obviously, it's hard to be injury free, but you know what I mean. Not a massive injury, and we've got two fullbacks who both suffered massive injuries like that and keep getting these repeating injuries, and it's just it's not sustainable. We need to reinvest it into that fullback area, because when Ricardo and Justin were injury free, we had Castagna, etc., and Thomas. We had some of the best fullback pairings in the whole league, I thought, and now we're like really stretched there. It's crazy how things change. So that's the thing. Ricardo was one of the best in the world, but should move to a mid-Spanish team if he can get a replacement. Yeah, I don't know. I think Ricardo. I don't know if he gets another injury. Is he really going to seriously? Is he really going to have the mental strength to recover and go again like that? I mean, in the back of his head, he just knows he's going to get another injury. So yeah, I don't know with Ricky P, but he's fighting hard. It's good to see him back in first team training. Hopefully, he can come back in and make that impact within the next couple of weeks or so. But I think it'll just be a process of building up once again, playing some under 21 games, a few sub appearances, and that type of thing. But if we get an injury to, God forbid, another fullback, he could be back in that team quite quickly. So we'll have to see how this one goes. But yeah, apart from that, I think we have covered most things. We'll stay on for another few minutes or so, but obviously we have covered the Brighton game tomorrow. Obviously we just gone through some transfer news as well. We've still got 11 days left of the window, so lots could be happening. Leicester are making moves, which is a good thing to see. We are making offers, and we're not just interested FC. We are actively now trying to sign some players as well. But yeah, big game tomorrow. Make sure to check out the match vlog when it drops on the channel tomorrow evening. I'll probably be live this time tomorrow with the match reaction as well from the Brighton game as well. And on Sunday, we'll hopefully have some transfer news to discuss, and hopefully by Sunday, Victor Kristiansen is officially a Leicester City player. But yeah, if you guys have got any final thoughts, final questions, final topics in the chat, feel free to let me know. Go and quickly drop a like on the stream. There's 11 of you guys in this, so just quickly go down below, drop a like. It'll massively help me and the channel out. And like I always say, help spread the channel around the YouTube algorithm to more Leicester City fans and football fans. So that would massively help out. Hopefully, problem is we don't have much money. This window is going to be hope for the summer. It is, but someone's going to be difficult, because if Leicester get relegated, we'll be in serious financial trouble. Because if you guys don't know, Leicester have taken out 2 loans, I believe. Now we took one out recently, a few days ago, and the conditions on that were repaid back with money from Premier League TV money, I think it was something like that. And obviously, if you get relegated, we're going to be stuffed. So survival's key, and if Leicester do get relegated, I honestly say this, we're going to be in a very difficult situation. So yeah, the next 6 months or so are going to be absolutely crucial for the future of this club for the next 5 years, I think. So hopefully we can make the right signings, and these next 10 or 11 days could prove to be critical for the rest of this year. As we know, we are in a relegation battle, and hopefully we can start our climb to safety tomorrow, hopefully picking up some type of result against a very good Brighton side. So yeah, that is the case. hopefully we can do it. We actually need a winger when Perez leaves. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, we need a winger right now. You're really that confident because if you look at the table, Leicester are 2 points above the relegation zone, and that's not just 18th. That's rock bottom as well. So you know our fixture run's tough. The squad doesn't have the right mentality to stay up, and few losses, and Leicester could be down there. So it's a thing to be worried about. It's a thing to take into account because a few losses, Leicester are right down there. So if we get relegated, it'll be another Sunderland, and that's what I mean. That's what I mean. We need to be careful. We really do. I know at least we need to. Yeah, we needed at least 3 wingers. I think 3 or 4 because the system we play, we need wingers who can come off the bench and make an impact as well. You know what I mean? We literally have nobody else apart from Perez, Barnes, and Albrighton, apart from obviously some youngsters. So yeah, if Leicester are going to continue playing this 4-3-3 formation, we need to invest particularly in the wide areas. I think midfielder wise, we have enough depth in there. Centre backs isn't enough, and strikers isn't enough either. But we really do need to invest. And it doesn't have to be the best of signings. We just need some backup there, just in case. And players who are good enough to be called upon, but obviously don't go out there and break the bank spending 40 million on everyone, which obviously we can't do because Leicester don't have the financial capabilities to make that happen. So yeah, that is the thing, and hopefully it all works out nicely in the end. It's a happy story, but God, who knows? Who knows? Exactly, mate. You know it, mate. Stick me in charge tomorrow. Leicester will win. I'll be like prime Sir Alex Ferguson, mate. Sir Alex Smith, mate. The tactics will be on smoke, and Leicester will go there. Master plan. We'll change the formations. If we're 2-0 down by half time, we're making 5 subs at half time, switching things up. Master plan. But stick me in charge, and Leicester will be in the Prem next year. You watch. But yeah, if you guys are going to the game tomorrow, have a good one. Enjoy. Hopefully I'll see you down there. Have a good defence. To be fair, you probably do a better job than what we've got right now. But yeah, I think that is where we are going to end off tonight's stream. Big thanks to you guys for coming in as well, staying in tonight. We're nearly at 30 minutes, so we'll end it off tonight. Yeah, like I said, vlog tomorrow, reaction tomorrow as well for another big game in the Premier League, and hopefully this time tomorrow we can be feeling a lot happier after a win or maybe a point, because I think a point would be a decent result. Yeah, let's get into final comments. If we carry on like this, we'll be playing Stoke away next year. Exactly that. I think Stoke might get relegated themselves, but yeah, I know what you mean. We need Rodgers to go when Dyche. We need Rodgers to go, Dyche to come in, then we're fine. Big up Sean Dyche. Exactly. Ball in the summer. I think if Leicester even if Leicester do stay up, I think Rodgers will probably go into summer anyway. I think he may just want to go himself, to be fair, because he's been here for almost 4 years now, and I think that's the case with quite a lot of our players. A lot of our players have been here for a very long time, and we just need a refresh. I think it's most things in life have a time scale, and I think this squad and this group of players has reached it. So yeah, I think we really need to invest, have a big refresh. But as everyone knows, that takes a lot of financial capabilities, and as I've been saying, Leicester don't have that. So we do not have the capacity for that. Where would Rodgers go? I think he could still get a job in the Premier League. I know we've been poor this year, but Brendan is still a good manager. We saw that in our first 2 years. I'm not saying Brendan should stay or anything, but if you look at his tenure at Leicester, apart from this year and a bit last year, he's done wonders for us. So I think he could still get a job at a reasonable club in the Premier League. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens. But I just think a refresh needs to happen, and I think the main focus now is just safety. And then next summer we can sit down and just start a fresh cover and then try and build back up to where we were a few years ago. I think that's the best way to go about it, and I think that's the best for some players as well in this year, like players like Ndidi, Tillemans is also going to go, etc. like that. We need to move on from Vardy. But yeah, half an hour reached. We're going to end the stream off here, boys and girls. Thank you for coming in. It's much appreciated. And I'll see you boys tomorrow with a match reaction and a vlog. Hopefully we can get the win, most importantly.